All right, sixth graders. Today we'll be working with percents and fractions. Please pause the video so that way you can write down everything that's on the board, okay? But please leave space between example 1, example 2, and example 3 over there, okay? All right, percents and fractions. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. So, in a ratio, we have our top number, and then we're going to compare it. The bottom number will be 100. So for example number 1, it says 45%. We're going to write 45% as a ratio and compare it to 100. So basically it'll be a fraction, how we write it in fraction form. So 45%, so 45%, it'll be 45 as our numerator and 100 as our denominator. Why? Because the max percentage is 100%. So therefore, 45 will be the numerator and then 100 will be the denominator. From here, you still have to put it in simplest form or reduce. So we have to have a number that can go evenly into 45 and evenly into 100. So let's divide it by 5. 5 does go into 45 9 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So our answer will be 9 over 20. Number 2. Write 50% as a fraction in simplest form, okay? Again, we have our 50%. And they want us to write it as a fraction. So we're going to take this number 50 and put it as our numerator. And we're going to take 100 because that's the maximum percentage and put it as the denominator. From here, we can reduce. So we have to find a number that goes evenly into the numerator and evenly into the denominator. In this case, it is 50. 50 goes into 50 one time. 50 goes into 100 2 times. So therefore, our fraction in lowest terms would be 1/2. Example number 3 says, in a recent study, 55% of cell phone owners said they text message. What fraction of cell phone owners is this? Okay, so they want us to find the fraction of cell phone owners. 55% is the cell phone owners. So therefore they want a fraction of 55%. 55%, and we have to put it into a fraction or a ratio. We take the 55 and put it as the numerator, and then 100 as the denominator. From here, we can go ahead and simplify, okay? We have to pick a number that goes evenly into 55 and evenly into 100. In this case, it is 5. 5 goes into 55 11 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. And so there, our reduced answer or answer in simplest form will be 11 over 20. Okay? Please pause the video to take notes. Now, we'll be talking about fractions as percents. Please pause the video to write down all the notes. And remember to leave space in between example 1, example 2, and example 3, okay? To write a fraction as a percent, you must first find an equivalent ratio with 100 as a denominator. Example number 1. Write 6/8 as a percent. So here, we already have our first ratio, and that is 6/8. And they told us that we have to find an equivalent ratio with 100 as a denominator, okay? So here, 100 has to be our denominator. Why? Because that is the max percent. Here, we are trying to find the percent. And how do we find the unknown? We represent the unknown with an X. From here, we cross multiply. 6 times 100 gives us 600. 8 times X gives us 8X. And here, from here, we have to divide by whatever is attached to this variable. In this case, it is 8. So we have to divide by 8 on this side, and what we do on one side, we have to do on the other side. So 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that crosses out, it cancels out. And now we are left with X. 8 divided by 600 gives us 75. So here, X will give us 75%. So 6/8 is equal to 75%. Example number 2. Example number 2 says, write 9/12 as a percent. So we already have our ratio, which is 9/12. And we have to write an equivalent ratio with 100 as the denominator. So 100 will be here, because this is our denominator. And so now we want to find the percent, which will go here, and we'll represent the unknown with X. From here, we cross multiply. 12 times X gives us 12X. 9 times 100 will give us 900. And from here, we have to divide by whatever is attached to that variable. In this case, it is 12. So we divide by 12 on both sides. 12 divided by 12 is 1, so this cancels out. And we are left with X. 900 divided by 12 will give us 75. So again, X will equal 75. So 9/12 as a percent is equal to 75%. And our last example, Bettina made 12 out of 40 shots during the championship game. What percent of her shots did Bettina make? Okay, remember, always read word problems over and over until you understand what they're trying to tell you, and you understand what they want you to do. So Bettina made 12 out of 40 shots. So your ratio is 12/40. Because it says 12 out of 40. 12 out of 40. Okay? And so from here, they want to know what percent of her shots did Bettina make. So you still have to find an equivalent ratio with a denominator of 100. So if they're asking for percent, this is what you are trying to find. And we represent the unknown with X. And from here, you cross multiply. 40 times X will give us 40X. 12 times 100 will give us 1200. And from here, we are going to divide by whatever is attached to the x. In this case, it is the 40. So we divide by 40 on both sides. 40 divided by 40 will give us 1, so they immediately cancel out, and we are now left with x. 1200 divided by 40 will give us 30. So now we know that Bettina made 30% of her shots during the championship game. All right, 6th graders, please take notes. And if you have any questions, you can contact me on Edmodo or in class.